Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We are watching game 2 of our Friday Night Pioneer Magic here, and I'm with Luci Pher. And the game we're moving to now is a creativity versus Azorius Control. We saw them in the first matchup, and up to the top table, we now have is a creativity. How do you think the matchup's looking, Lucy, on this one?
I think it's pretty good for control. The creativity deck doesn't really have a lot of ways of applying pressure outside of the combo. So it's mostly just ways of dealing with creatures and interactive spells. You know, stuff like Fiery Impulse, among other stuff. You have stuff like Fable of the Mirror Breaker, which we'll get to that later. But typically your deck is all about find the combo, cast a big score, get 2 treasures, use next turn, play a land, creativity on 2, get your 2 treasures, you get Xenagos, and then you get World Spine Worm. Xenagos will double the power and give it haste. So you're swinging with a 30-30 trample on turn 5, and that will kill the opponent. Stone dead.
Sure.
Control doesn't particularly care about anything else that's going on, because the thing that kills them is the World Spine Worm for 30. So on the control side, you're just looking for ways to interact with the opponent and punish them for not getting a fast combo. You can
Yeah.
see a lot of cards in the creativity side. They've got Fiery Impulse, they've got Fire Prophecy. Fire Prophecy usually being a really useful spell to sort of dig for your combo and also to tuck some of your combo pieces to the bottom. If you draw a World Spine Worm or a Xenagos, it's usually pretty bad for you. Fire Prophecy lets you put them on the bottom of your deck and draw a fresh card.
Sure. Well, we're seeing the classic turn 3 play here for Is It Creativity, which is to drop Fable and grab your token. I do love the fact that it was only when the token was got. It's almost like, I'm going to resolve this. We'll go for the token. And it's like, no, you're not. Here comes Doven Veto. That's really important because the only possible Fiery Prophecy target was going to be that Goblin Shaman. So,
Exactly.
um,
But also the
that
Fable on its own allows you to dig. It's going to try another Fable, and that's just not going to resolve.
is that's interesting considering there was it's a it's a spy buff canal. Okay, I was wondering why they were playing the fourth land to maybe avoid a censor, but that's fine. We've untapped with 4 mana, so we're looking to get big score off here, I suppose. This is the general thing. Big score is in hand,
I
but
see 2 big scores in hand.
um
Those will be quite useful. You're just going to cast them on the end step. We'll see if a big score resolves. On the control side, I think I like countering it. Because even if you don't, it's I don't know. I think it's better. You're stopping them from drawing a bunch of cards. You're stopping them from making treasures, which could allow them to just hard cast one of their combo pieces anyways. And
mhm.
also, it's just enabling them to combo, right? I think you just want to slow them down. You want to force them to constantly be trying to set up, and then you're able to sort of interact with them in that way. And then, just your big threats like Teferi and all that become all that more potent, right? Because they have nothing. It's not like they can just like combo kill you in one turn.
Sure. Well, lucky for them, they had the second, and this gets through. Little woohoo pump fake there. Getting rid of just your fiery impulses making sense. So,
Well, they did draw a creativity.
okay, so creativity's there. The treasures come down. Thinking about what kind of answers we do have over on the control side. We
Lot
see
of
it.
lot of lot of ways to deal with creativity.
Yeah, we're seeing quite a few.
There's an Odawara in hand. That is a very, very, very potent answer to a World Spine Worm.
But
But a
this is
temporary lockdown.
and this is one which I think the creativity player initially was, I'm not sure what you're targeting, then realized, and that,
It's just there
yeah,
to get rid of the treasure so you can't combo anymore.
yeah,
So that
that's
big score suddenly means absolutely nothing.
and that means we have slowed right back down. There are 2 creativities in hand, so
2 creativities, but 2 fire prophecies that are just dead in hand. On top of having, you have a make disappear to, potentially interact with something like a Teferi, maybe keep the game going a bit longer so that you can find a way to do your combo. But other than that, it just looks really bad for the creativity player right now.
yeah, not over, but not on the front foot is the important thing. Um, that was a land. That's probably the last card you wanted to see.
You can see the control player keeping that Odawara in hand because if the creativity player just has a combo out of nowhere, it's incredibly useful.
Impulse. Okay, impulse good. Impulse a card that may force interaction.
I mean, I think the impulse is fine. I'm more worried about a card like Big Score that can put something on the battlefield
What do
and
we
sort of
see?
enable a combo.
Um,
Oh, three lands and a fiery impulse.
you
You can't
you
be
you
happy
you
about that.
actually just want to see your combo here, right? You want to see your combo so
You
that you
just
put
want
it
to
at the
find a
bottom.
big score so you can do it on the end step.
Yeah, but you're not even sad if you see your combo pieces because you're just putting them on the bottom of your deck and you're feeling good about going hard then on your draw. Here comes that beautiful memory deluge.
And hopefully find some answers. I think I see a sensor. I think I see some other cards. It looks like a
Behold the
Behold the Beyond,
multiverse.
a Behold the Multiverse, and an Irrigated Farmland that's just going to get immediately cycled. Probably seeking to look at that because none of the other options were good enough. Maybe just
Oh, there's
taking it
Fatal
up until
Absence as
redraw.
well.
Oh, Fateful Absences. I think I did see a Supreme Verdict in hand. So in the case that they do manage to get big score into creativity going off. Oh, well, but there's a Teferi.
This is where and perfectly sequenced to only have to have the 3 mana up. So the likely counter spell on Make Disappear will not be good here. Yeah, and I think
He's definitely contemplating casting that Make Disappear just to maybe reduce the control player's ability to have some form of interaction because they're very capable of just going big score into a combo here.
because that would
They
be
blow
something
it.
you'd potentially do because it would make the open mana after the Teferi only be 3 next turn. So you would have been able to counter the counter. There's a Fable.
That is a good draw.
Very
Anybody
interesting.
who has played Pioneer will have had to play against Fable of the Mirror Breaker at some point. Typically when I'm asked what's the best card in Pioneer, I would say it's Fable of the Mirror Breaker. It just does so much. It
And
enables, it makes, that 2/2 Goblin Shaman is a reasonable enough threat on its own. It can make treasures. This can enable a creativity turn very quickly.
yeah, and
You know,
like anybody who's played Pioneer, they've also seen the classic 2/2 Goblin Shaman back of a Magic basic that we all have because none of us want to pay £4 for a token. So yeah, here we go. That's a staple in the format right there.
one of
Um,
the best cards in the format, if not the best card in the format. It just does everything. Gives you a threat, draws you some cards, and then gives you another threat. And that second threat in Reflection of Kiki-Jiki just does so much for you. It's one of the most powerful creatures in the format. It just does so much. You see Fable in decks like Rakdos Midrange. Obviously, Is It Creativity is able to make use of it really nicely, mainly due to that Goblin Shaman that is able to make a bunch of tokens that you can then sacrifice to creativity to get your combo going.
which is why we see March there, I think, because it may not seem so scary, but once it's hit, the combo's online pretty much.
Yeah, the
So
combo's online immediately after that thing attacks because you have the creature and you have the treasure. So it just, and even so, like now, as you can see, they're able to discard 2 cards and they draw another big score. That is huge.
yeah, Big Skull could be really big here. The question is, even though you see all this open mana, you're going to see open mana for the rest of this game. If you're on the creativity side, do you just jam Big Score? You
I think
have
you just jam big score here. I don't really see you doing anything else that does look like a human. Or
yeah,
maybe you just. I do think you just wait. You wait. You discard a card. You make 2 treasures if it does resolve, and then you're able to cast creativity, because that human is able to represent and make disappear with casualty.
sure.
So that I think that is relevant. Being able to just you just jam a big score on the end step, and then you are able to jam a creativity next turn, and you're able to pay for the make disappear. And they're able to get the combo, and then you kind of just hope that they don't have anything.
So we have just seen our actual first damage of this match.
Yeah, no, the human's going to go in the red zone. Going to untap that Hallowed Phantom that entered tapped. And there's a big score on the end step. In the face of a Make Disappear that I think is in their hand, I think that's going to resolve. I haven't discarded that card just yet. Probably going to discard a Deadfire Prophecy. Yep.
You keep one just in case of you get unlucky, right? Unlucky here and needing to.
I honestly do like the idea of killing that human. Just so that you're able to protect against Make Disappear, because Make Disappear is irrelevant. It is a way they can interact with you. If you can sort of stop that from getting casualty, I think it could be pretty useful.
Exactly.
It can allow you to resolve a creativity where you may not have been able to otherwise.
So Fable flips. This becomes a target. So the question you have here:
do you go for it?
Do you go for it?
I think the answer is yes. You have two in hand. You have three of them in hand, and it's not like you have to sacrifice artifacts as part of the cost. So I think it's pretty safe for you to just go creativity on two, target the two treasures. You have Make Disappear if they have something like really egregious. Yeah, you can see they're going to cast the creativity. Creativity for two. Target those two treasures. You get the combo immediately if that resolves.
Just doing the right thing
player
here.
Has a response. I do see them eyeing up that Make Disappear, and it looks like they're going to do it with casualty. But they can just pay. They can just pay for it.
Oh, Make Disappear in.
They're gonna cast some Make Disappear when they have like 8. It looks like they're gonna. Are they gonna do that with casualty?
They have done that with casualty.
They have done it with casualty. So they sacrificed their own reflection. They could have pretty handily paid for that Make Disappear. That feels like a very big misplay on their part. Because
I believe we could have got the creativity too, right?
Yeah, the creativity just got, they just let the creativity get counted and ate up a Make Disappear. I feel like that was not what you should have done. I feel like you wanted to just pay the 4 and then just go for it.
Yeah, I think we missed tapping the treasures for mana, right? I think.
Yeah, I don't know why there's only one treasure there, because you wouldn't have used up that treasure. Oh, it doesn't matter because there's a second lockdown.
Okay, cool.
And now you just can't combo. That's it then.
We have no cards in hand. No, they're underneath. Okay. We've seen 2 creativities go to the bin, and that's a secret to the key, I believe. No, we have creativity in hand. Okay. Secrets to the key, understandable. I think there's going to be a strategy here to just load back up by creating a clue and then potentially. Now again, it's in hand here, right? Do you go for it or do you? Nope, they've not gone for it. There's a memory deluge on end step.
Gonna look at the top 7 now.
This is all the answers. Look, when you're putting back and absorb. Although we didn't see the 2 cards that got put down, you there you go. Dovin's Veto and a Farewell.
I think that was a Shark Typhoon.
Shark Typhoon. Okay. Yes. You
and
don't know
off the top though, and there's the Teferi emblem. So now this game's just over.
Yeah, you don't know it. You don't know it's.
And there's the
locked.
Second Teferi. Now this game's double over.
Now you know it's locked. Yeah. So
there's no way you beat this now.
You're gonna try, and you're gonna try as a creativity player to just get that 3rd creativity off as it is in hand, but you're going to get counted, and we're going to move to game 2.
Yeah, no, the control player just has so much at this point. It's very difficult to bounce back. Teferi emblem with a second Teferi to back it up is just horrendous.
Yeah, this is exactly the turning point where the beatdown becomes the reverse beatdown, and I don't even think we're going to need to see life damage or anything because the creativity.
And it is kind of Fateful Absence, so that's very interesting, especially given the creativity player can just go big score number 2 into creativity number 3, and then.
But there's so many answers, though, right? There's just so many answers that You've answered.
I guess they do have the Shark Typhoon to just exile it.
Yeah.
So, hell, you can even exile the Xenagos to stop it from giving the World Spine Worm haste, and then you untap, draw for turn, exile the World Spine Worm. And then that, like, they just have no way to win pre-board after that. It's just game.
There's the cycle seven drop shark.
That's gonna kill very quickly. But it's also gonna draw a card, allowing them to get rid of another blue source. It looks like they're just looking to get rid of blue sources here. Cut them off a color. You know, and they're drawing 2 cards a turn, so
Wow,
Teferi doing so much work.
Teferi doing work, and at this point, I think the creativity player's gone. Game 2. Yeah, there's damage.
7 to the face.
Very interesting game. Very interesting matchup. Maybe one slight pop.
Gonna jam a Wandering Emperor as well. Maybe just apply a bit of extra pressure. Like now that they're on the ropes, just try to end the game as quickly as possible.
Yeah, maybe
there's no way you lose from here.
Yeah, just maybe that one spot where the creativity would have got through. But
and then you do have the Kiki Jiki as well. To protect somewhat against removal.
Yeah. Still plugging away. Still one more creativity available. Problem being, you're now going to have just 3 lands left at the end of this next end step at a minimum as well. Wow. Okay, and the big sharks are out.
And there's the last blue source, and they're just gonna scoop it up.
These are no baby sharks. This was game 1, but we can tell you that this was the Azorius control player taking down the whole game here, and they were moving on to 2-0 and remaining at the top table for game 3. Join us in the next video to see that. Go through this F&M 4-round competitive scenario. I've been Old Demo Dave with Luci Pher, and we'll see you on the next one.